Happy Tin Cup! All right. It is my honor to present this year's recipient of the Don Banks Award. This award was created in 2017 in memory of Don Banks, an engaged member of our nonprofit community and former program director at the Community Foundation of Teton Valley. Don Banks was an incredibly passionate advocate for nonprofits of our community and worked tirelessly to support the work of these nonprofits. In that spirit, the foundation has designed this award to recognize a nonprofit leader who exemplifies this excellence in nonprofit best practices. This award is accompanied by a $1,000 grant to the nonprofit led by the exceptional individual. It is an honor to be joined on the stage by the past recipients of this award. The candidate for this award must be an executive director, either full-time, part-time, or volunteer. This executive director goes beyond the scope of their responsibilities to further their organization's mission for an extended time. The ED is consistent with their approach and collaborates beyond their nonprofit to extend the reach of their mission to our entire community. This executive director engages in collaboration, sharing of resources, and other methods to fulfill their mission and strengthen our community. Don Banks was an incredibly passionate advocate for the nonprofit community and worked tirelessly to support their efforts to elevate life in Teton Valley and fulfill their mission. This award highlights individuals in our community who have reached above and beyond the job of working as a nonprofit executive director through collaborations with other nonprofits, personal investments to serve our community, and the willingness to go above and beyond to deliver their organization's mission. Candidates for this award have shined as leaders in our community. This year, it is my honor and privilege to present the 2025 award recipient, Sara McKeown White. It is a rare and remarkable moment when community need aligns perfectly with an organization's mission, and when at that exact moment, the right leader emerges. A leader who doesn't just have a degree and qualification, but who brings the passion, grit, and unwavering commitment to step into the leadership role of a struggling organization and commit. Sara is that kind of leader, and the Mental Health Coalition of Teton Valley was that organization in 2021 when Sara stepped up. She said yes to a struggling organization, one with no budget, debt on the books, and no guarantee of a paycheck. And from that uncertain ground, she began building something truly extraordinary. The need was clear. Teton Valley has long faced a critical shortage in mental health support. The ratio of trained clinicians to residents makes it impossible to meet the demand through traditional services alone. And when Sara stepped in, the mental health safety net was fraying, stretched far too thin to support the people who needed it most. Sara got to work. From a budget of $1,056, scribbled on hand by a scrap of notebook paper in 2014, to a debt acquired in 2020, Sara took on leadership in 2021, inheriting a negative bank account on her first day of work. By the end of that first year in 2021, the organization had raised over $172,000, supporting the need for accessible healthcare and education in our community. By the end of last year, that budget had increased another 30%, proving not only Sara's amazing, tenacious work, but the incredible generosity of our valley and our community. Staffing has grown as well at the Mental Health Coalition, from 2 part-time employees in a borrowed office to now having a full-time team of 3, including a dedicated case manager, helping ensure that no one waits unnecessarily for care. With a growing staff and a strong, sustainable team in place, the Mental Health Coalition now has greater stability, a clear succession plan, and a strategic path forward. Understanding that in a community where there will never be enough licensed counselors to meet the need, they will have to do more than care for people in crisis. Sara knew they had to build a net of support upstream before crisis strikes, and that is exactly what she's done. Sara has created a new paradigm for mental health in our valley, one that emphasizes prevention, education, and collaboration, where our community supports their neighbors and we promote healthy living, communication, and stress management. Today, thanks to Sara's vision, the Mental Health Coalition runs a monthly education series that reached over 600 people last year, covering topics like suicide prevention and trauma resilience. They provide mental health training for first responders, city staff, and local businesses. They support over more than 355 clients with one-on-one case management. Last year, the Mental Health Coalition facilitated nearly 1,500 client touch points, ensuring that people get the right help at the right time. Sara also serves as a regional voice in mental health policy and collaborative care design. She is also leading efforts to create a shared facility with partners like the Food Pantry, the Community Resource Center, and the Family Safety Network to build an integrated system of care that serves the whole person, not just their diagnosis. This is the kind of change that happens when need, mission, and leadership align. When someone like Sara steps forward and says, "Let's build something better," and then does it with clarity, courage, and relentless heart. Please join me in thanking Sara and honoring her tremendous work with a round of applause.
I feel like I just won a nonprofit Oscar, except for like everybody's in running shoes and there's no music to cut me off. So get ready for a really long speech. Just kidding. I met Dawn, who this award is named after, about 10 years ago at Mimi's house, a now defunct daycare. Our kids are about the same age. And she was usually walking out the door, calm, put together, smiling, while I was rushing in the door, completely disheveled from wrestling just one infant into a onesie to her two. But even in those brief moments, I noticed how kind she was to me, to the staff, to the kids. We only usually had time to exchange quick "how are yous," but even then, Dawn radiated a kind of poise. I remember thinking, wow, she's really got it together. She's got a grown-up job, she's never running late. I want to be her when I grow up. So to be standing here today, receiving an award in her honor, feels really surreal. Even though I've been with the Mental Health Coalition in one form or another for 14 years, long before we were even our own nonprofit. Thank you, Happy Trails, for being our fiscal sponsor for probably way longer than was appropriate. And our founder, Adam Williamson, for seeing a need and taking action then. I never imagined being an executive director. I didn't even really know what it meant. I literally Googled, what does an executive director do on my first job? The results were not half of what we actually do. Luckily, I found a wonderful community of nonprofit leaders who didn't just tolerate my questions, they welcomed them. So thank you, Emily, who's on sabbatical, Sue, and Alex, wherever you are. Alex, your encouragement, your wisdom, and your steady support have been a lifeline. The collaboration our organizations share is truly a rare and precious gift. We really are better together. To my incredible staff, especially my right-hand woman, Faith, who has stuck with me and this organization through many growing pains, and Madison, who patiently answers all of my, "Hey Madison, will you?" questions. Thank you for walking beside me and for helping me grow into this role. I hope I've done right by you and I've practiced the wellness that we so often preach to other people. I have long joked that there really should be a companion award for partners of executive directors, because I've seen a lot of y'all get voluntold for things and willingly show up. So thank you to my family, Dee, and especially my partner, Tinny, who's also known as my husband, Brian. I appreciate y'all rolling with the odd hours and just one more email nights and everything this job brings, especially the parts that I can't ever talk about. Nonprofits ask a lot of us, of our time, our hearts, our families, but it's also the most meaningful job I could ever imagine doing. That's why this recognition means so much, because I care so deeply about what the coalition does and about this community. To be honored for that is incredibly humbling. Thank you, Community Foundation, for your steady support of the nonprofit world. Yes, they do so much for all of us. Thank you for believing in care as a form of leadership and for lifting up those of us doing this work day after day. Now, if you are a new or future executive director, or just someone who's had to write a grant, fix the printer, and plunge the toilet all before lunch, in the spirit of passing the baton, or the spreadsheet password list that we all have, here are 5 things I wish someone had told me sooner. These aren't rules, just things I've learned the hard way. 1, you can't know it all or do it all. I'm not sure, I don't know, let me get back to you. All are all perfectly reasonable answers, even if you do know, because they buy you time to think. I'm done for today is also acceptable. As one ED once told me, Sarah, you're not saving babies, go home. I promise you it will all be there in the morning, and the next one, and the one after that. You'll be able to handle it better when you're rested, so just go home. And as Faith often points out, don't take your work laptop or phone with you. 2, find a good support network and meet with them regularly. Not this could have been an email meeting. I mean, a real talk, someone might cry, you leave feeling better kind of meeting. 3, stay connected to the joy of your mission. A lot of the work we do is heavy, but there are moments of joy. Notice them, celebrate them, remember them. They'll carry you through the hard parts. No is a complete sentence. You probably are not using it enough. Start. And then 5, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you and have completely different skill sets. Yes, it will be infuriating most all of the time, but it will also make you and your organization so much better. I work in mental health at a time when we're facing a mental health crisis. 1 in 5 people has a mental health condition. Nearly half of us, 46%, will meet the criteria for one at some point in our lives. And we live in a state located in the suicide belt, which means we're ranked among the top 10 in the nation for suicide death rates. Someone asked me recently why I don't get overwhelmed by all of that. What keeps me grounded is my belief in care. Care matters, kindness matters, connection matters. And on a day like today, where thousands of people have shown up early on a beautiful Saturday morning to walk, run, cheer, and give back, it shows just how much care already lives in this community and how important it is that we keep building on that. That's why this moment and your presence means so much. Thank you for seeing me, for believing in this work, and for standing with us. Let's keep building a Teton Valley where no one struggles alone, because we show up for each other again and again. Just like I know Dawn did, just like we're doing today, and just like I know we'll keep doing in the future together.